today I am joined with Emily, or Emily Nicole, here on YouTube, and we're going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys questions on Instagram. So first though, I'm going to let Emily introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Emily and my channel is Emily Nicole. I do a lot of family vlogs with my two crazy children. I almost said they're under 2, but they're not because the one just turned 2 and then I have a 7-month-old. I do a ton of vlogs, motherhood type of videos, and we have a lot of fun on my channel. It's a little crazy, but a lot of fun.
So I will link her down in the description box below for you guys and in the cards up above. So make sure you go over there, and we actually did another video together over there where we did the whisper challenge. So if you want to laugh, make sure you go check that out. And as a side note, the children are out there with our husbands, so if you hear screaming or crying of any sort, they're not being ignored. They're being taken care of. But there's 4 kids out there with 2 husbands, and so, you know, there's gonna be screaming at some point. First question comes from Carrie Brooke, and she asked, I'm getting married in December. What is your advice for the months leading up to the wedding and the time right after the wedding? My number 1 advice is to make sure that you actually enjoy your wedding day and enjoy the little things. I feel like I didn't pay attention to the little things.
Well, I don't really have much advice for before the wedding because we literally planned our wedding in about 2 weeks and got married super fast, so ours was really quick. But I would say the same thing, just really enjoy the day and don't worry so much about having perfect pictures or making everything perfect, but just kind of be in the moment. And I remember worrying so much about little things like my hair looking perfect and stuff like that, and it's really not going to matter because you're going to look back and love your photos and stuff like that anyways, because it was such a happy day. And then for after, having kids so close together, I would definitely say just make sure to spend a lot of alone time. You guys know what I mean. You know what I mean.
This one was asked quite a few times. I will put them all over the screen. It's, what's the best thing about being a mom?
So to me, the best thing about being a mom is just knowing that somebody just looks up to you so much. Every single thing that you do in your daily life, such as, you know, going to the bathroom or eating, they want to be just like you.
Speaking of that bathroom thing, when I go to the bathroom, Rev likes to take her step stool and place it in front of me, and she says, I'll sit here and watch you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of moms don't get to go to the bathroom by themselves. No,
ever. We don't. I literally have to race to the bathroom, close it, and lock it if I want to go to the bathroom on my own. But I obviously echo everything that she said, and seeing, I think, their interest in the simplest of things, I don't know, it just gives you a new perspective on the world, I guess. All those little things get overlooked as you become an adult. I don't know, they just realize the beauty and the fascination in the small things. So it definitely makes you slow down a lot and enjoy life more when you have kids. From Moulson15, hopefully I said that right. She asked, were or are you ever worried about putting your kids on the internet? I just recently started a family vlog channel, and it still sometimes creeps me out when I think about what kind of creeps may be on the internet looking at it. If so, how did you overcome the fear or worry? No matter what you do, there's always a risk in everything, even outside of the creeps when it comes to your kids and stuff. There's a risk no matter what every time you step out your door, or heck, there can be one walking past my window and watching my kids play in the house. It's just, I don't know, I just don't have the mindset of living in fear. I just don't.
I completely agree with that. I've never looked at things in life where you have to live your life worrying about things, because like she said, you could be going to the movies or the mall and there could be creeps looking at your kids, and I know you're putting out there for possibly millions or more people to see, but it's just kind of like she said, it's something that I love to do, and it's just that I hope nothing, you know, negative would ever come of it, but that's just kind of you try to protect your kids with everyday situations, and you can never 100% protect them. You try to be as careful as you can while, you know, still.
Definitely don't just throw caution in the wind and be like, here's my address and everything.
Exactly.
And I guess
be safe.
For me, the farthest that it can ever go is some weirdo just being weird with what we actually put out there, and because of that, I don't show our girls with their shirts off anymore. Once they reach a certain age, even now, really with Ari, we don't ever show her on the potty. With Rev, we did show her more often on the potty when we started. We don't do that anymore. So those kind of things, I be careful with so that I'm not ever encouraging it. But as far as worrying what if they're kidnapped or something like that, we have guns in our house. My husband is carrying every time we leave the house. And so I guess for me, I just don't have that fear because I know that whoever tried anything would not end up in good standing. They wouldn't be standing, that's for sure.
Yeah, they wouldn't be standing anymore.
From Lindy Lou 26, she wants to know if we ever had parental differences of opinions with our spouses, and if so, how did we come to solve them?
Well, I would say one difference that we're just now starting to go through is Ellery's just kind of now starting to come to the phase of her life where she has her own little agenda, and I would just say that the only really difference that we've had so far is that I tend to have to be the more strict one because Kyle just kind of ends up letting her do whatever she wants just because I think he just has a
more
hard
laid
time.
back personality.
Yeah, he's just super laid back, and I'm more like, no, she needs to do this. I will give in sometimes, but that's really the only thing now. We've talked about a lot of things as she gets older, you know. I think Kyle's going to be a little more strict on her dating and stuff like that, but that's every
the dad's job.
That's pretty much it. I can't think of any.
We don't have
agree.
any. I don't think we've had any at all. And that I think that just comes with when you're like finding your spouse in general. Like you have these conversations, and if you have like the same kind of belief system, then you tend to have the same kind of parenting too. So we've always just kind of aligned with everything, even down to like homeschooling. It was never a question, never like oh well, why do you want to do this? It was just like that's just what we're doing. So yeah, we haven't. I'm sorry. I know that some like there are a lot of couples that do have major differences because I know a lot of couples like they're the opposites attract kind of thing, and they're very different. But Ryan and I are like very much the same in personality, so we don't really run into that as much. From Sarah J 1120, she wants to know how and when did you start quiet or independent playtime with your kids? I think our answers will be different.
Yeah, so I was telling them this earlier actually because I was saying how well her kids play by themselves, but Ellery has gotten so much better since we had Eli. But whenever I was just a stay-at-home mom of Ellery, I was so guilty of just like babying her and playing with her all the time, almost to the point where it probably wasn't a good thing because I wasn't getting as much stuff done as I should have. But I was actually really worried when we had Eli that she was gonna, you know, freak out. But ever since we've had him, she does a lot of independent play, and she's completely fine.
Which I think is also, like, you guys know, for me, I'm like very like, we're getting this in. But it's also important to note that even if you aren't like strict about it from the beginning, it can still work itself out. Like it's not like end all be all. But with us, we start independent playtime in their cribs with a couple safe toys at like 4 months old. And like for very short periods of time, like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. That I did with Ari, but with Rev, I did not start doing that in her crib first. Obviously, second kid, you become a little more lax and you're like, oh, you know, this is fine. But with Rev, I started independent playtime with her when she was, when she started sitting up, which I think was around 6 months. And she would sit right in front of me first. So like I would be on the couch doing my own thing, and she would be sitting on the ground playing with her toys around her. If she got upset or something, I'd quickly like get her something to refocus on, and then I'd go back to doing what I was doing, which was normally working on YouTube or something. And so that's how I started, and then I would slowly move further away. So she got used to me being next to her but not playing with her, and then I moved away and I went, you know, clean up the kitchen or do whatever while she was playing, and then eventually moved her to playing in her room when she could crawl around and she had like the free time to really play like by herself. So I like kind of started around the same age teaching it, but my methods were different with Ari and Rev. Both have worked out okay. I think Rev is way better independent play than Ari is at the current age. Like Rev was way better at this age. So I think Rev's, the way I went about with Rev was probably better. Or it could just be personality. Ari's a lot more like clingy, want to be held all the time too. So personality has a lot to do with it as well. From Mrs. Nero 17, she wants to know, what ways do you show your husband that you love him without verbally saying it? My answer is that all depends on their love language, completely. Because, you know, going and making them dinner could be love language for one guy, but not for another. Ryan's main love languages are words of affirmation and physical touch. So one of those requires talking, one of those doesn't. And so the words of affirmation, obviously I have to say something verbally, but he also appreciates like acts of kindness. So like taking his dish, or you know, just maybe doing, because he does dishes, so some nights I will just randomly out of the blue just do his dishes for him. And that is like a way of showing him love. And then there is another way to say it without verbally saying it to your husband, and that in front of your husband, speaking about him in a positive way to other people. That is huge for pretty much all men. For most guys, talking positively about them in front of them to someone else is a big way to show them love.
So for me, Kyle's 2 love languages are spending time and physical touch. So I will, you know, sometimes give him a massage and stuff like that. But other little things that I like to do for him is I like to leave him notes, but with the spending time, you know, love language, I used to just, I don't know why, people are gonna think I'm weird for this, but I used to hate just sitting on the couch watching movies. Like, I got so bored. Like, I had to either be constantly on my phone or something, like, while I was watching the movie. And then, like, as we were married longer, I was like, you know what, no, like, if we're watching a movie together, I need to be, like, spending time with him still while watching it, not just sitting there doing something else. So I've learned to just, you know, like, watch the movie, but focus on what we're doing and be in the moment still, even if we are just doing something like watching a movie or watching a show, because I would just sit there and then the movie would be over and I'd be like, oh, okay, you know. But now I love watching movies and shows, so now that is something that we enjoy doing together, like especially after the kids go to sleep. So that is something that, you know, is like our little downtime. So, and I also love to leave him little notes, or I do little corny things all the time like that because I'm cheesy.
Making your husband's lunch.
Yeah,
I always leave notes in his lunch.
Yeah,
when I make him lunch, I leave him a note. Okay, so we're gonna do this one for the last question. It is from D. Kaufman 41126. What is your favorite way of winding down your day as a mom? Netflix and food.
Yeah, food too.
Chill part, you know, that gets added in there.
Chill. I didn't need to add that. I think they got it.
Well, you said it. But I think both of us, we both at the end of the night tend to watch Netflix and eat food with our spouses. And that really is how we at least watch like one show, and for us it's chips and salsa pretty much always that we have. And that's just like our way of winding down at night, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, lately for us it's been like we have our favorite flavors of Halo Top, or we do chips and dip sometimes. I love chips and dip. We just do all different snacks, and I feel like this sounds so bad, but like that's what like makes our evening exciting, is like picking our show, and then we pick our snacks, and we just,
it's exciting for us.
We're lame. That's what you do when you're a parent.
That is the excitement of your day.
Like,
picking
what's
your
the snack
and your
for
show.
tonight? What flavor are you gonna have?
We've been watching iZombie, and weirdly enough, I haven't been weirded out eating my snack while she's eating brains. It's actually a really fun show.
You're eating your salsa with the blood. No.
Do you like those kind of like funny TV shows? You need to watch it. It's
We're
funny.
watching Younger. Have you seen that?
No.
It has Hilary Duff. She used to be like my
I heard about
childhood,
that.
like.
Yeah, I heard about that.
We love it. Like, it's really short episodes, but we watch like 6 of them a night.
So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and make sure that you go check out Emily, like I mentioned, and see the video that we did over there. And I will see your wonderful faces next week. Bye.